Ever finish a long day at work, collapse on the couch, and feel like your brain has been stolen? Not your body, your brain. Your motivation, your focus, your spark. It's gone. And the worst part? You can't even see the thief. Today we're exposing it. You see, motivation after work isn't laziness. It's biology, psychology, and culture conspiring against you. Your brain is a sophisticated machine, designed for survival, not for finishing a report, starting a side project, or learning a new skill at 8 p.m. By the time you leave work, your prefrontal cortex, the part that controls focus, planning, self-discipline, is exhausted. Every email, every decision, every tiny interaction burns mental energy. This is decision fatigue, and it's invisible. You might think, I'm just tired or lazy, but actually your brain is too taxed to act. It's exhausted from fighting battles all day you didn't even notice. Then there's emotional residue. Did a colleague snap at you? Did a client reject your idea? Did a meeting run over and make you feel small? These aren't just memories. They're sticky chemicals in your brain. Cortisol, adrenaline, stress hormones linger, whispering, relax, do nothing, don't risk. Until you acknowledge and release them, motivation won't touch you. Here's the first trick. Name it. Say one word that captures the feeling. Frustration, overwhelm, anxiety, even aloud. That simple act signals to your brain, I see you, I acknowledge you. Suddenly a little space opens, a little clarity enters. A small step toward motivation becomes possible. Next, mental clutter. Your mind is like a backpack filled with unfinished thoughts. Emails, errands, chores, conversations, random worries. Each invisible item weighs on your focus. You want to start your evening project, but your brain is already carrying 20 unfinished things. Steve Jobs understood this better than most. He would take long walks, often alone, letting his mind unload. He didn't just walk. He emptied his mental backpack. That stillness? That was preparation. Focus doesn't happen in chaos. It grows in quiet. And distractions, they're everywhere. Not just your phone. Half-finished Netflix shows, web tabs you never closed, social media feeds, news alerts. Each is a mosquito in your mental room. 1 is fine, 10 is overwhelming, and your brain doesn't see them as optional. It sees them as urgent. The trick isn't willpower, it's architecture. Move notifications. Leave your phone somewhere else. Make your evening space a whispering invitation. Here, you can act. Let's dive deeper into energy management. Most people treat motivation like a faucet. They think it flows on demand. The truth? Energy fuels motivation, not the other way around. Tiny rituals, stretching, walking, breathing, even shaking your arms for 30 seconds, change your neurochemistry. They bring blood flow to the brain, release tension, reset focus. Even small movement primes your motivation. Wise Joe ebooks talk about subtle rituals like this. They're invisible but powerful. Dopamine is another invisible thief. Modern life conditions your brain for instant hits, likes, notifications, endless scrolling. Your side project, your creative work, your long-term goals. They don't compete in the same currency. You feel lazy, not because you are, but because your brain is trained to chase micro rewards. The hack. Micro wins. Write 1 sentence, move 1 object, send 1 message. That small action releases dopamine naturally, building momentum. Motivation loves movement, even tiny movement. It compounds. 1 step leads to the next. Perfectionism is an even sneakier invisible enemy. I can't start because the mood isn't perfect, the desk isn't perfect, the coffee isn't perfect. That's a trap. Motivation is a muscle, and muscles grow by movement, not waiting. Start messy, start small. Your stick figure doesn't care if the first stroke is crooked, it just wants to move. International wisdom helps here. In Japan, they practice inamuri, being present even while micro-napping. In Italy, la dolce far niente, the sweetness of doing nothing intentionally. Rest isn't laziness, it's mental hygiene. Even 5 minutes of intentional stillness after work recalibrates the system, restores focus, and primes motivation. Your environment is an invisible signaler. Cluttered desk, harsh lights, noisy background. Your brain reads it like Morse code. Don't start. Don't move. Make your space clear, calm, intentional. Your stick figure brain literally moves faster toward a clean, inviting space. Then there's accountability. Motivation decays fastest when invisible. Make intentions subtle but visible. A post-it note, a whispered promise to a friend, or even a note to yourself. Human brains are wired to follow through when someone is watching, even in tiny, invisible ways. Sleep is the silent killer. You might think, I'll just push through. Cognitive science says otherwise. Even mild sleep deprivation cripples focus, creativity, and motivation. Biological law is non-negotiable. Respect it. Even a 20-minute nap can restore clarity, reset energy, and reignite drive. Micro-reflections matter. Each evening, pick one word to summarize your state. Clarity, energy, presence, focus. Not a sentence. Not an essay. One word. It's a mental anchor that creates awareness, focus, and primes your brain for action tomorrow. Movement is chemical magic. 1 minute of walking, bouncing your shoulders, or stretching changes brain chemistry, increases blood flow, lowers cortisol, and primes focus. Motivation isn't mental alone, it's embodied. Your body and brain are a team. And humor, subtle humor, is invisible fuel. A quiet laugh lowers stress, triggers dopamine, and gives perspective. It doesn't matter if it's a French pun, Japanese wordplay, or a clever office meme. Motivation loves a brain that feels alive, playful, and free. Reflection on micro-successes is the invisible multiplier. Not the big launch, the viral post, or the promotion. The single email sent, the first sentence written, the idea jotted down. Recognizing small win stacks, invisible motivation. Brick by brick. Step by step. Here's a subtle but massive point. Modern life trains your brain to flee discomfort. Discomfort is necessary for growth. Feeling unmotivated is often your brain avoiding mild discomfort, the push, the first step. Recognize it. Lean into it. Start with one tiny, imperfect action. The rest flows. Another invisible trap is social comparison. Social media makes everyone look perfect, always motivated, always moving forward. You scroll, compare, and your motivation dies. Remember, you see a highlight reel, not the backstage. Don't let invisible comparison steal your focus. Now let's layer in gratitude reflection. Before starting any evening task, notice one thing about your day, even if it's small. The coffee you liked, a colleague's smile, a completed meeting. Gratitude triggers dopamine and serotonin, rewires your focus from scarcity to abundance. Motivation responds. A few final invisible strategies. Single tasking. Pick one goal. Not 3, not 5. 1. Deep focused action beats scattered effort. Micro-visualization. Close your eyes and see your stick figure completing the task. Brain loves rehearsal. Motivation increases. Time boxing. Even 15 minutes of focused action is better than hoping for a perfect moment. Motivation loves a timer. So tonight, here's your blueprint. 1. Unload your mental backpack. 2. Name your feelings, one word. 3. Take a micro rest. 4. Move your body. 5. Pick one tiny imperfect action. 6. Reflect on micro successes. 7. Close your day with one word reflection. Do this consistently, and motivation will stop being a stranger. It will arrive silently, invisibly, and stay longer. And finally, if you want a structured, step-by-step guide to these invisible habits, without hype, without forcing, you can explore ideas in Wise Joe ebooks. Just one place, at the end of the day, when you're ready. That's it. Nothing more. Because motivation isn't magic. It's invisible architecture. Chemical, psychological, and habitual. And when you build it intentionally, even after the longest, hardest day, it will show up. Every evening for you. Now, as you sit here thinking about your evening, your own struggles, your invisible blocks, what's the one word that comes to mind?